Welcome back, everyone, to Changeling, the Amadan Prophecy. Last time we left off, the group had just arrived at the large mushroom palisade and were being led in to the Goblin Market. We're going to kick it right back off with the players taking their first steps into one of the most notable places in the hedge. Let me move you guys over here. You guys have vision, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, it would help if you did the, move everyone.
I'm just getting it there now. Oh yeah. I forget I'm not in control of that screen, sorry. I'm using my recording screen to try and move you.
You're good. You're good.
There we are. Much better. So you guys take your first few steps in, and suffice to say, it is astounding. The view all around you is extravagant, to say the least. There are stalls, buildings, some carved out of huge trees that seem to just go on as far as you can see. Others seem to be just made out of boulders, carved in the open or dug down with small little thatch huts just poking out of the stone that seems to pave most of the ground here. As you walk in, it is bustling. There's many figures passing by, some more humanoid, definitely changelings on large, but also a great number of hobgoblins of countless shapes and sizes. Small rat-like people bustle by here and there, whereas every now and again large figures towering easily 12, 13 feet tall rush past, looking to grab the best deal they can on a given goblin fruit or token. As Shleelsh kind of steps back and away, you guys are left alone with Myga. Let me pull him up here for you. Well, welcome to the Goblin Market.
Myga, what is this place? What is a goblin market, you say?
Yes, it is, well, a lovely place. A crossroads of sorts. You see, this, well, it's a bit unusual for most. Many of the markets travel quite commonly. This one, though, is different. It travels, but it stays the same. The entirety of it moves, including the palisade you saw of the mushroom trees outside. Everything just moves on, and so, as a result, he waves his hands and his small staff containing the jar of fireflies outward. Many come here. It is busy, more than probably any other goblin market I know of.
So, how do we get out of our cave?
Yes. Well, you'll need to find a hedge gate. You see, there are a number of them in the market. But sadly, I do have to go. I have something very urgent I need to get to now that we're back.
Oh,
But
hey, thanks for helping us out this far. At least.
yes, I'm glad to assist you. As I said, I do have to go, but I can direct you to some help. A friend of mine, you see, old man Myga. Rumi. Or just Myga, basically.
Yeah.
But yes, I can direct you to a friend of mine. He will be able to point your way out. And He kind of looks the three of you over one by one. He may be able to also tell you about yourselves a bit, about any oath you have or any pledges of the sort.
At him mentioning oath or pledges, Rumi's eyes kind of dart to the other two, and then return to.
Regardless, he knows just about everyone in the market. His name is Glusk.
You say Glusk? Is he a
Yes,
goblin? Is he mortal? Is he fey?
I couldn't say. He is useful, though. He's no trouble to anyone, and as I said, he knows most everybody. Though not everyone actually knows of him. It is not easy to find him. You must simply search, and eventually you will get there. Take the chance to explore the market. But when you find him, yes, tell him this, and do not forget it. It is important. Otherwise he may not help you. Tell him, in name of memories lost and deals forgotten, the moon shall thrice shadow the sun and reveal your bindings.
Whoa, oh, whoa. Repeat that?
In
Yes,
name
yes,
of memories lost and
In the
deals
name-
forgotten, the moon shall thrice shadow the sun and reveal your binding.
Oh, well, glad you guys have a better memory.
Yes. Well, it is very important. He will understand when you tell him. And do tell him old man Myga gives his regards. It has been some time since I watched him.
But
Hmm.
before you leave, Rumi says, as he kind of kneels down in front of him and holds out a hand, palm up, to grasp Myga.
Yes. He kind of steps forward with his staff a couple of steps and reaches his hand up to yours.
Know that you have made a eternal friend. There is no means in which I could truly repay the debt that you have incurred today. But I'm sorry if my behavior in the Thorns frightened you. But know that I am always an ally that you can call upon if the need prevails. And I will always know and always think fondly of what you have done for us here today.
Oh, well, it is no problem, boy. It is not your fault. It is a very dangerous place, this. With the hedge and beyond. I could understand. I've seen far worse out there. And yes, I know you will be a good friend to have in the future, I'm sure. You have great potential, all of you, I think. I'm lucky to have met you.
I don't take any offense to this, but hopefully we never meet again, because I don't want to come back here.
Oh, well. All that swear the oath usually end up coming back at some point. The bird has its ways. The market is also quite useful. You'll find many fine goods. All, well, generally at the cost of mere glamour. You'll be able to get by. He kind of looks back to you, Rumi. You should look into getting some goblin fruit as well. It would do well to aid your wounds.
Thank you, I will look into it.
Yes. Well, as I said, I must go. Tell Glusk that I give my regards. And remember what I said. Do not miss a word. It is important.
I'll leave it up to these guys.
Sam kind
Well.
of smiles at that.
Good luck to all of you.
Good luck to you too.
And with that, you see old man Myga slowly trot off with his little staff, clambering along the way, and eventually disappears into the crowd. And what do you all do now?
Rumi kind of stands up again and watches as Myga leaves, and then mutters, more to himself but audible to the others. The worth of a friend is beyond a mountain of gold, they say, and I feel we were blessed in such a way.
Better words have not been said on this day. But you know what we need to focus on? We need to focus on finding that fruit.
And Glusk.
Well, I guess what we're supposed to do is just wander around until Glusk makes himself known.
Perhaps there is something here that Sam, that could help. You seem very, very drained.
You cut out at the end there, Lucid. What'd you say?
You seem very drained, and the color has gone out of your skin as it.
Yeah. I think I'm okay, but I'd like some clothes. If we can find some clothes.
All right, that's more things to do. Okay, so fruit, clothes, anything else you guys can think of? We got a lot of wandering around.
What of you, Ria? What would you like to find in this place? It seems most mysterious, but I must admit, I'm part of me. My heart beats firmer and more excited at the thought of whatever is in this goblin.
I want to get the hell out of here. Find a hedge gate or whatever that is.
Well, Sam, would you like to lead the way?
She kind of looks nervously between the two of you. I guess I can.
If you would prefer, I could take the lead, though I have never been one much for shopping myself. But I'm sure we could find the most beautiful dress in the world for one as beautiful as you, my dear Sam.
She looks down at the ground at that. Yeah, something like that. You can lead. I'll just keep an eye out.
Rumi nods and starts stepping forward, pausing for a second and making kind of heavy eye contact with Ria and like glancing back at Sam in a sympathetic way that kind of conveys like she's our responsibility, let's keep an eye out for her, without necessarily saying those words, and then just starts kind of wandering through the maze of stalls and shop.
Cool. Yeah, as you guys begin to wander, you quickly realize that this place is incredibly vast. Strangely so, even. And the sheer number of people rivals a city with how busy it is. There's a great deal, of course, as was said before, many figures of many different kinds. As you go through, you even see what seems like very definitely normal people from what you would normally be able to tell. As you brush close, you don't even gain much sense of even weird from them. You guys have sound, sorry, for the music?
Yeah.
I could hear it.
Okay. It's just me then. Let me... There we are. Sorry, I'm having a...
You good?
Boop. Yeah, I was having it on my end, sorry. Anyway. Spinning wheel was the one to, I believe the setup for that was to get to the market, yes? Or was it all the way back?
It was to get out of
Okay.
this place, I think is how she worded it.
Yeah, in that case, I would say it's up for now, because this place in that situation would have been the hedge itself. You can, of course, activate a new one, though.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so what in particular do you guys go for? You said clothes and goblin fruit, yes? As well as
Yes.
searching for Glusk.
Yep.
All right. You wander around, and it doesn't take long to spot a rather great deal of clothing vendors and similar. It's pretty much everywhere you go, there's something that's being touted as some kind of jewelry or special garb. You notice a great number of very, very fanciful dresses, very regal-looking armor even. Is there a particular style or look you go for? Most everything you're seeing is rather, well, regal, as I said before, but archaic, too. It looks like something you would expect from years and years and years ago. Something from even potentially hundreds of years ago.
She's largely looking for like a coat or a cloak or something that she can hide under.
Okay, yeah, that's actually not too hard to find. Eventually you come up to a rather welcoming looking stall. A small figure greets you. Just green, with a rather pointed nose and a slightly menacing look upon his face. What is it you want?
As this guy pops up and shows himself, Sam's eyes go wide. She motions to the cloak that she had seen. How much?
That one there, right?
She nods. Yeah.
Let me see. 10 glam.
10 glamour.
Yeah. It's a very wonderful cloak.
Glamour is the same as where we left it last time, right?
Yep.
Oh, I don't have that much. I have 7.
Well, let's see. I suppose I could cut you a deal. Fine. 7 glamour, yeah.
Hey, I'd like to pay for half of that. Is that a possibility? Can we split the
A friend here. Well. I mean, if you have a friend that can foot the bill, then yeah, 10 glamour would be suitable.
You
Oh,
said
no.
you said 7, my friend.
That's very different. My kind heart, right, is very good to poor young ladies that are down on their glamour. But if she's got friends to foot the bill...
You are looking at 2 poor young ladies, both down on their glamour and their luck. Are you so hostile to friendship that you penalize the bond they share? How cruel!
It's okay. It's okay. I can do it.
Oh. So then, 10 glamour, huh? Yeah. Besides, you have this very dashing gentleman to help you out, maybe? He seems to care quite deeply for you.
Well, he has no glamour, so I mean, look at him.
kind of raises an eyebrow. Sure.
She wants to pay for it herself because she wants to take on the responsibility. She doesn't have 10 glamour. Now what are you gonna do?
Fine. 7 glamour, then. Unless your friend wants to help out.
No,
How
it's...
about you just take your 7 glamour and be happy?
I'll do the 7.
Very good. Yeah, and, just go ahead and give the hand a shake, right? And here's your cloak. He sticks out a rather grubby, slightly dirty hand as he pushes the cloak out with another, pulling it down from a small hook that was hanging it up.
Sam reaches out her hand, taking the goblin's. And I imagine just kind of immediately feeling a bit drained.
Yeah, you actually feel very, very down. It is as though you just spent hours running a marathon after having a severe emotional breakdown. You are drained, to say the very least. Good deal. All right, go on now. You can't afford nothing else here.
Rhea flips him the bird as they walk out.
Sam just kind of looks towards the ground and nods, putting the cloak over herself and walking away.
The small green man kind of you notice a grin and faint laughter as he hides back down beneath his stall and seems to go back to whatever it was he was doing. It's about that point that you notice a figure nearby with a rather odd demeanor. Oh, you poor soul. You have made a terrible mistake. And you see this small figure again, similar size to the green man before, except this one is most undoubtedly a frog with human shape. Maybe 2 foot tall at the most. You made a terrible deal there.
Why is that?
Oh, well. It is not most places that would charge you 7 whole glamour, right? It is not a good deal. For a cloak like that, it would be, 1 would be a stretch.
Oh, great. So, we just... That's
Yes,
great.
he ripped you off very well. You have spent a great deal more than you needed to.
Sam's body just kind of tenses as she's still looking at the ground. I'm sorry.
Oh, you do not need to apologize to me. Yes. Perhaps a small song would cheer the young lady. Pila, he can sing a great tune or play a fine strum upon his lute. What do you say, young lady? For this, out of the kindness of me heart.
She just kind of gives a slight shrug. Nods. Okay.
Oh, yes. For such a sad young lady. I dare say, the rain suits you. Yes. And he begins to strum away at his small lute. Slow and rather sad sound at first. But eventually it begins to pick up and is rather upbeat by the time he's done playing. The sound of it is beautiful, and as he plays, you feel something else upon yourself. The faint sensation of a glamour returning to you. You feel within your mind a sense of joy and wonder at listening to the first song, perhaps, or seeing the first performance you've ever seen almost. It's refreshing, astounding.
Sam's eyes begin to water as he's playing. And as the song continues and more emotion begins to build up within it, and she feels just a small piece of herself begin to restore. A couple of tears fall down her face. She tries to wipe them away on her new cloak, but her eyes are still watering throughout the song. She's still finding it hard to look at everyone. She's still just looking towards the ground, but she's feeling a little bit better.
Yes, yes. You see, that is the way. A simple song, a bit of cheer, can cheer one up very quickly. It is a wonderful thing, glamour, yes. It comes in all shapes and sizes. And its meaning is far more than anyone would understand. Yes. Cherish
I'm sorry, friend, but who are you? Rumi
Ah,
asked.
yes, I. You see, I am Pila. It is a pleasure to meet you. And he takes a much exaggerated bow before he stands upright again. It is good of me to grace your presence, yes.
Oh yeah, thanks for the song
Of course.
and the advice.
Yes. Many of the folk within the market will take advantage of a newcomer such as yourself. The word is fresh upon you. He probably smelt it. Sort of like the old bread.
I've never had to haggle before, but I guess we're gonna have to start.
And why do you not take advantage? Why do you bless us with song?
Well, you see, Bila quite enjoys making people happy. It is what I did, right? So, Bila stays at the market. The freehold would not have him. They say he is too mad, but the freehold are fools, and they do not know what they could have had. Especially not that queen of theirs. It is fine though. Bila is happy here.
Forgive me, but what is the freehold?
Yes. Newcomers, all of you. I see. Well, you see, the freehold. Well, in this case, the private freehold. Most call it the Myriad, after their home. It is well, if you ask me, it is a sour place full of stuck-up fools. You see, I was once like you, a poor, innocent newcomer to this place. But now, Pila is, well, the best performer in the market, I would say. And, well, at one point I tried to get into the summer court. Spring court. Damn whatever fool seeks the summer. But anyway, Pila once sought to join the spring, but the spring would not have him. They are too pompous. They think Pila is mad. And Pila is not mad. Pila is glorious.
Are you like us? Are you
Yes, Pila
human?
was once man, and woman, and many other things. But that is not important now. Pila is Pila, yes? And
Rumi's brow furls, and the constellations spinning in his hair grow visibly darker and more chaotic as he tries to comprehend what Pilar is.
Yeah, and actually, as he says, but it is not important. There's a rather strange sensation. Almost all of you can kind of feel this vague sense of sorrow fill the air as you hear someone, right, as if speaking through Pila. Help me. Let me out. It's so dark, I don't want to be in here anymore. but a brief moment before you hear another voice again, as though speaking through Pila. Shut up, Irene! Damn it!
Hey, who's Irene?
And then, almost as if in one fell swoop, the voice takes up its rather odd cadence. It is not a problem. You do not need to worry about this. Pila is Pila.
Oh, well, I mean, that's kind of alarming. I guess it's just because I'm new to this kind of place, but I mean, did you heard that, right? From your own.
I do not know what you mean. Pila did not help me. I don't want to be in here anymore. And again, you hear another voice snap back. Fuck you, Irene! You shut up! You're ruining the performance!
Irene, where are you?
Oh, don't worry about her. It's not your fault. She's just sad. Irene's always sad.
Can Rumi... Go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Can Rumi do a, like, an intelligence occult check or something like that to try and understand what's happening here?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Go ahead. Boop, boop, boop. Let me see what you get. Yeah. So it's not clear, but as you kind of seem to try and focus on Pila, to try and comprehend this, it's as if he were more than just Pila, right? You have this vague sensation as if like a chameleon almost, but somehow not in the normal ways, right? The skin color doesn't change from green or anything, but you feel as if he's going from kind of a orange color to then a bluish shade, and then even another kind of more vibrant green, and then a yellow, and then back again, before it kind of, your vision kind of hazes back and fades back to normal.
You
feel
wanna...
like... Go ahead.
Go for it. No, go for it, sorry.
No, yeah. So you feel like there's definitely more than one thing going on here, if you get my drift.
You are many things in one, Pilar. You are not what you appear.
Well, you don't need to worry about it. It's a long story, and we don't like to ruin the performance, Irene. This time you don't hear the voice quite speak up. Sorry about her. She, well...
But people appreciate the performance so much more when they can understand the nuances of the pieces that go into it.
Yeah,
You should allow the pieces to speak for themselves more. And in doing so, you draw the audience further in, do you not?
Well, I guess, but regardless, it's a whole big ordeal with Irene. She, ugh. Yeah, Irving, you tell him.
What?
And then you hear another voice kind of, again, from Pila, it seems. Yes, you see, it is a long story. Well, suffice to say, all of us were taken. Our keeper was very, very rude and decided that a performing frog would be quite nice. But, of course, he never really let us perform. He was, well, not the best pursuer of arts. He thought dance was our thing. It isn't. We prefer music and singing, really. He shoved all of us in this frog, and this is where we are now.
How many of you are in there?
Oh, well, how many is it again? Let's see. 5? No, 4. Oh, shut up, Irving. It's not important, really. And suffice to say, well, we are Pila.
Is there any way we can help you peel out of there?
Wow. You know, I thought I was bad sometimes, right? They think I'm the stupid one, but I'm the important one. I'm the first letter, after all. But suffice to say, it is... You hear then, again, the voice shift, and now it's kind of hard to distinguish which is really talking at a given time. No, I am obviously the best one here, right? Don't worry about it, don't worry about it. Guys, let's just get back to the performance. Right? Everybody just get back to the performance. And then you hear again, as they seem to swish their hands out, one with the lute, and then bring them back together again and pluck a string. Yes, Pila is Pila.
I see what you're saying.
Yes, it is a very fine time here. And Pila is a good performance to brighten spirits. To say the very least, of course. If
Pilar,
really
could
must-
you point us to Glusk, in which direction?
Oh my. You see Glusk, do you? It is not an easy time to find Glusk, you see. He is, well, difficult to find after all. Simply go whichever way you wish to go and think of Glusk.
What can you tell us of Glusk that we may think of him?
Well, he is Glusk. Do you not know Glusk? Many do not know Glusk at first. I suppose you are newcomers. Well, suffice to say, Glusk is a very tall, very shadowy figure that is full of light, or well, illuminated by light, I forget sometimes. But he is a very large, shadowy, shiny figure.
Shadowy shiny. Are
Yes,
you
yes.
sure you're using the right term?
It does not make sense until you see it for yourself. And to be honest, it is a complicated affair.
Okay, tall, shadowy, shiny. I can think about that.
Yes. Just whatever you do, all right? Do not turn any corners and think of a bright, sunny place. Do not do this. Or a desert. I know it can be hard at times, all right? It is easy to turn and think, oh, if only it were a sunny, sunny day. But then you end up at the Sunny Bazaar, which is, well, not my favorite place.
Why, what is wrong with the Sunny Bazaar?
Well, for the most part, it is very dry, and, well, as you can see, Pila prefers it moist.
Very, very well, Pilar. We wish you the best.
Yes. Pila wishes you all well as well. And, as I said, sunny, bright, deserty. Do not think of any of these things, yes? Voka might get a bit aggressive with you.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Thanks.
Yes. Well, if you must go, do so. Pila will be here, if you ever need him. I imagine we will meet again.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you guys.
Yes, we do not talk of you guys, right? It is distasteful. It ruins the performance, to be honest. And, well, Pila is happy being Pila. Though, I do like to brag, yes? And it is fair enough, as your friend said, to have the actors known, yes? If you must know, we are Phil, Irene, Irving, Lynette, and Angus.
Wow. Okay. Nice to meet you, Pila.
Yes, it is a pleasure to meet all of you. I do not think I have received your names, did I?
Oh, my name's Ria.
Well, it is a pleasure, Ria. And he gives a quick bow and a head nod towards you.
I am Rumi.
My friend Rumi, yes, good to meet you. And the poor, sad little rain cloud.
I'm Sam.
yes, Sam. Of course, it is so fitting. He kind of walks closer and kind of takes one of your hands without really giving you any chance to do anything about it, Sam. His hands are oddly enough remind you of as if you had kind of put your hand to your other, essentially, kind of ever so slightly moist, but with a bit more of a mucusy aspect to it, but cold and almost refreshing aside. Do be careful in the market. It is a vicious place, but also one of great wonder. I imagine you will find it quite a pleasant place one day, as Pila does. And if not, perhaps once you get home, and you will get home, as long as you believe you will, yes, then I wish you well. And perhaps if we are all lucky, you'll never see Pila again, but let us be honest, the market will call you again. And when it does, Pila will be here to cheer you up.
Pilar,
Yes, my friend.
do you know where I could get some fruit?
Oh, yes, yes. Well, that is a matter of debate. The two best sellers, you see, are Miss Angelica and Unica. It is a bit of a competition between the two of them. If you wish to look for, well, slightly more varied goods, perhaps some jams and preserves, or other things, if you fancy a drink, Miss Angelica would be your lady. But if it is plants, herbs, and fruits, Unica would be the way to go. Of course, there are other ways you could go. Many sellers, but, well, as you saw with poor old... Yes, our poor friend there. He is... well, they are all horrible bastards as far as I'm concerned. They will all try and take whatever they can from you. Unica and Miss Angelica are the, well, most fair and reliable sellers, and their stocks do not run out.
Thank you.
Are we gonna?
And
Are
Sam's
we gonna have
gonna.
issues with having to haggle them too? Are they kind of sticklers for
well,
prices?
Perhaps, if you display yourself as a novice, right? But tell them Pila sent you. They will understand.
Okay.
Yes. And for what it is worth, personally, I find Unica a bit of a looker compared, if that is your taste.
Thank
Find
you.
who?
Oh, Unica, yes. She is quite pretty.
Okay, I guess if... Okay, yeah, cool. Thank you very much, Pila.
Yes, yes. It has been a pleasure to meet you all, my friends. If you need Pila, well, I imagine we will find each other. Good luck to you all. I shall go brighten others' days. Yes. And with that, you see Pila practically hop, skip, and jump off. Quite happily into the crowd.
Another kind soul.
Sam kind of wipes her hand off on her robe and on her cloak, and just kind of folds her arms underneath it. Should we keep going?
Rumi,
Yeah.
go for it.
Oh no, that's all she was gonna say.
Rumi drops down to a knee and puts his arms kind of to the side in the universal signal of piggyback ride to Sam.
I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Think of me as your friend who gives you...
I'm sure. I'm okay.
Rumi frowns a bit and stands back up and says, well, we shall continue searching. Yes.
To the fruit, ladies. Which one do you think we should go to?
Miss Angelica and Lunica? I do not know.
Well,
I
I'm wondering, like, if he's partial... Pila, I mean. Isn't it he? I don't even know. Pila, though, seemed partial to... What was her name? I...
Lunica?
Yeah. Maybe try her? Gauge it a little, because, you know, sometimes people don't like... Because he seemed partial to her. So, like, we can check and see if she's keen on the liking, and then use that to our advantage.
It makes sense to me, I guess, but I do not know the ways of women, I must admit.
Oh, are you like... Are you gay, I guess?
What is gay? Am I happy? Is that what you are asking?
Yeah, sure, like, that is another way to say it, but, no, I was meaning, like, do you, like, wait, you're a dude, right?
Yes, what is a dude?
Well, you said yes, so we're just gonna
a
go
male.
with that. So, like, basically, being gay is, like, you like other dudes. And,
Like, in friendship, yes?
okay,
Oh my god, how old are you?
I am 22. What is confused?
how do you not know what gay is? Like, that is a pretty common orientation.
Are you sexually attracted to men or women?
I believe it is inappropriate for you to speak of such things, but I am engaged to be married, and I'm sure my fiance waits for me in Brivon.
Okay,
Our
but
parents arranged.
What is, like, is your fiance woman or man? Or neither?
A woman, obviously. What crazy things are you speaking of?
Obviously. Oh my gosh, how long have you been, like, in Arcadia? Like, give me the time.
Months, a few years. I don't know what year is it in the.
I don't know, like, you know, last I checked, I don't even remember, honestly, but, I mean, man, you are archaic.
What year was it when you came to this place? What is the last year you remember?
2018.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
2018. That's the
No,
year
no,
I remember.
I'm sorry. You're saying things wrong. You mean what?
Oh boy. What year was it for you?
It is 1932. What are you talking about? 2000s.
Oh boy. Okay, so I have a question because I noticed, like, your accent is pretty particular. Where are you originally from?
I was born in New York, but my family we are Armenians from the Ottoman Empire.
Oh boy.
Oh,
So Ottoman Empire is not really a thing anymore.
Well, it was collapsing when we fled, but
Yeah, it's gone.
you know, after the Great War, my family escaped from the Turk.
right. Okay, there's a lot we need to catch you up on. And we can do that along the way.
The first
But
thing
this
is it's okay to be gay.
Yeah, it really is.
I do not understand of which you speak, but I feel like we have other things to deal with right now.
It's okay, Rumi. Let's go get your fruit, and we'll fill you in on the ways of the new world.
So with that, do you guys begin to head off?
Yeah, I can't remember now because we got sidetracked on
No problem.
orientation. Which direction would they know which direction to go find the fruit ladies?
No. You have no idea. Although you would probably be able to garner from what he was saying about most other things, and from what other people were telling you before, like with Myga, pretty much everyone has told you to think about something in particular that you're looking for, and then just go and turn a corner or walk down a path or etc. Just think about it and head out, and you'll find it. Essentially, is what
Okay.
they seem to be
Okay.
telling you in general.
So, Ria's gonna kind of take point and think about the fruit.
Alrighty.
As Rhea is like in front of them, Rumi is going to be walking beside Sam and be like, is Roosevelt still president?
No, he's dead.
What?
I wish. I mean, I've heard good things about Roosevelt. Our current president's a bit of an ass.
I do not understand.
I mean, people die, right? Were you expecting Roosevelt to live for another 80 years?
It's been 80 years?
It's 2018. At least last I remember it.
That can't be right. That can't be right.
Rumi, go ahead and give me. Let me see here. This is going to be a clarity breaking point. The revelation of the fact that you've missed 80 years. So let me see. It is. Oop. Where's the damn thing?
To be fair, it should have
there
been
we
like it should have more realistically when he said a year, it should have been like 1936 or 37. I just didn't do the math right in my head.
It's fine.
But yeah,
it's fine.
but still.
Yeah. It's still, yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this is a pretty big one, really. So I'm gonna say this is gonna be a 4 die. With, let's see, what should we do for modifier? This is definitely affects close family members, so it'll be a +2, so it'll be a total of 6 dice. Going to be a pretty
Sorry, you're
big
breaking up
pool.
there. So what should I be rolling?
Sorry, it'll be a stock pool.
You broke up there again, sorry.
Can you hear me fine, or?
Right
You're
now,
kind
yeah.
of coming in and out.
Hello?
Hello.
Is that
Hello?
better?
You sound okay?
Yes, I think.
Yeah? I did get a bunch of lag across my screen about that time. Is it fine now?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, cool. So it'll be a 6 die pool. Do you want me to just do a...
So should I just do
roll?
a simple roll with 6 dice?
Yep. Yeah, I forget you have it all on your sheet now. Alrighty. It's a success. Fun times. So...
1 successes?
No, you don't. You really, really don't. So when you do clarity breaking points, right, you want to fail the roll, essentially. You want it
Yep.
low. You get more dice, the worse it is, basically. Right? This situation, remembering that you've lost decades while everybody
Well,
continues...
discovering I've lost decades.
Yeah. The revelation in itself, right, is pretty huge, and one of the really big events for a changeling, as well as the fact of, you know, it's been 80 years, and she just talked about how, for example, the president's dead, so you could imagine. So in this case, you're lucky it wasn't an exceptional success. So you're going to take your word rating as a dice pool and roll that to see how much clarity damage you take. So go ahead and roll just your weird. 1. So you take 1 mild in this case.
Okay.
So as you feel the recoil of your concept, really, of what's real and what isn't, begin to waver.
Yeah, so as Rumi, Sam, and Ria are all kind of walking through, and Rumi and Sam are talking about this, like, Rumi kind of slows down and falls behind the other two until he's just standing there kind of on his own, and then sinks down into a crouching position and grasps his head. And the light seems to drain out of the constellations in, like, his hair and in his skin, leaving just swirling darkness.
Hey, Rumi. You doing all right, buddy?
80 years. I had my mother and my father. They must be dead. My brothers, my sister, are they all, what, is everyone I know gone? What if I was to be married? What has happened to her? What has happened to my family? What?
Well, hey, whenever we get out, we can go look that up. Like, we can totally check and see.
Look it up. Is my life, the life I left, is it merely a page in a book in a library somewhere, or carved into a tombstone? Is that all of the world I?
Okay, it's pretty heavy. But, you know, yeah, basically, you've been Steve Rogers.
What is a Steve Rogers?
Basically, like, he's a comic book character that kind of was in the same situation as you.
What is a comic book?
It's like a book with pictures.
It's really good stuff. We're gonna show you everything. It's gonna be fine, and you know, take some time. Do you want to take some time, like, kind of?
No, just I will. I'm so sorry. I'm very. I don't. I'll follow you. I don't fully understand.
Hey,
What's
no,
happening? I forgive me. I should be ensuring your safety and that you are both well. I do not mean to distract with my own issues and problems.
Dude, like, seriously, you just got some heavy information, so it's totally fine. And, you know, if you want to talk it out and kind of, you know, express your feelings, that's totally chill too.
What is chill? Why are you speaking of the cold?
It's like, kind of relax, calm down.
Yeah, like, we're here for you.
Let us continue. I'm fine. I do not need. I do not understand. Maybe you are the ones mistaken. We will discover. Yes.
No, it's definitely in the future. And yeah, it's definitely that.
Arcadia plays tricks on us. Perhaps it has tricked you too. Yes. Yeah. Let us continue in this goblin market. And we can address this again when we return to the mortal.
Ria's just gonna kind of shrug. All right, and think about fruit then, please, because that's how we find it.
I hope it's not the 30s. I'd be dead.
Actually, could one of you guys think of Glusk, and, like, only think of Glusk?
I can think of Glusk.
focus really hard on that shadowy light figure. Alright, now I'm gonna think about some fruit ladies.
So you guys continue walking on, thinking about shadow light fruit stuff. But go ahead real quick, and each of you that is trying to think of something, given what was brought up before by Pila, go ahead and give me a simple resolve composure roll real quick to see if you think of sun, desert, or bright skies, essentially.
You said resolve composure, correct?
Yep.
Not like resolve something else.
No, yeah, just straight resolve composure to see if you can really just
Would
keep your
I
line of thought straight.
would I be able to use a dice from my ability spinning wheel?
I think we cleared that before.
I thought you said it was still up.
Yeah. Well, and we did miss a couple, so from before, one way or another. So yeah, go ahead and add a 1 die bonus then. Ooh. Alrighty. So you're not quite able to resist, but given how strongly everyone else is thinking of fruit in particular, it seems,
Rumi is not thinking of fruit.
yeah, what kind of thing are you thinking of, Rumi?
Rumi's mind is drifting to Lily, the woman he left behind in the night they saw Duke Ellington and danced to his jazz music, and all.
Oh, interesting. Alright. So that's actually quite interesting. So you guys turn a corner, and after a little bit, you notice that the atmosphere has become a bit more humid, a bit more boggish, even. I'm going to move you guys real quick. It will be dark for a second. Finally, you arrive at a small, odd little place. Kind of in the middle of nowhere, essentially. And you realize that there's quite a great deal of hubbub and stuff around you, and you notice, or well, behind you more so than anything, that this little spot is kind of isolated. There are several other paths that lead off back into the main sections of the market, but this one is kind of off to the side a little ways. And in particular, you notice that alongside this small shack and behind it mostly, there is maybe an acre at least of what looks to be various odd plants that, oddly enough, seem to be going quite fine regardless of the mucky terrain around them. The actual soil there is quite tilled and perfect, as if it were in a normal field or garden. But all around you, the scent of bog fills your nostrils. You see a rather large valley-like canal, essentially, flow past the way you just came. You are most definitely on one side of it, although there are large bridges that arc over it up farther up. Here you are in this small, secluded little portion off to the side, very close down towards the muck and the river.
Wolfgang seems lost in thought and is just kind of trailing behind
Wolfgang.
Sam and Rhea. Or I'm sorry, sorry. Rumi is just kind of lost in thought and is just trailing behind Sam and Rhea.
Sam is sticking back and walking with Rumi, making sure he keeps up, but not really saying anything, not really knowing what to say. Is this...
She's just like, wait till you hear Nirvana, and...
Nah, she's not saying anything.
I'm gonna adjust your positions a little bit.
Is this where
Rhea's
Glusk
gonna,
is?
Ria's gonna go up to the hut. You think I should knock? And she's gonna kind of try to look into the windows.
Yeah, you kind of head up as if to knock, and you hear the door swing open.
Whoa!
Uh, as you see a rather odd-looking figure there before you. Rather large compared to anyone else you've met. Again, quite like the many towering figures you've seen. She's easily 11 foot tall, at least, and more than odd-looking. Her figure is quite definitely bizarre. She's tall. Her face is hard to tell her where her face and the actual strange robes and clothing that she has on begin and end. Really, it's almost like a mask that sits over it all. There's the large, uh, odd kind of spike-like protrusions stick up from it. She turns down at you just ever so slightly. Who are you?
We are we're travelers looking for some fruit. Do you happen to have
Yes, I do. What sort is it you are looking for?
goblin fruit?
Yes, I know. What sort of goblin fruit are you looking for?
Oh, jeez.
I need something to patch my wounds. Rumi kind of mutters very quietly from the...
She looks you up and down, barely moving at all, really. Her eyes, although almost hollow looking, seem to look you up and down, and you can very much feel everywhere their gaze goes. I suppose. Amaranth, if you will. If you can afford it.
What
Well, we
is the
have
price?
on good authority from Pila himself that you have the best prices in town.
That frog sent you, did he? Well, it is fine enough. He likely told you not to accept foolish deals, did he not?
You know, he did give some good advice.
Well, seeing as you have no sense of the market, I would say that any deal is a decent deal.
I would argue that point. And I mean, you do make a valid point yourself, but you know, even if we don't know the market, we do, however, know that we are poor and we can't afford a lot of pricey things, and so that means we can't do a lot of business if you're really wanting to take all of our coin, or I mean currency.
Well, that is not my problem, is it?
Well, I mean, like, we would like to do business with you, though, because, you know, you have something we would like, and, you know, maybe we can, you know, give you something that you would like that isn't exactly glamour.
Go ahead and give me a presence or manipulation and persuasion roll. Or
Present.
sorry. Yeah, I always persuasion. So yeah, in this case it'd be more so manipulation if you're trying to lure her into some kind of deal,
Okay, manipulation and what, though?
and persuasion. All the way bottom left, up about 4.
There.
You get
Yep.
+1.
Yep.
Okay, plus.
Yep.
Okay. How do I do the +1?
It'll ask you for a modifier.
Yeah, just a modifier right 1.
Yeah. She takes you in. Again, although the almost unmoving eyes don't seem to really move, you can feel almost everywhere her gaze goes as she looks you up and down. Well, fine. Perhaps we can come to an arrangement. You will give me a favor in exchange for 2 amaranth.
3.
No, 2 amaranthine, and you will be happy with this. They are more expensive than you know.
Which person is this? What was this person's name?
You never asked or found out.
Excuse me, you're Lunica?
You insult me by not even knowing my name. It is Unica.
I apologize. We should go. Pilar said that the best deals were with Miss Angelica, and that we should deal with her instead of you.
Oh,
I'm sure we could get a better deal from Miss Angelica.
You would insult me so as to bring her up here? You notice the strange protrusions, which look almost glass-like as you kind of get a better look at them up close, seem to almost, whereas before, as if every bit of wind seemed to rustle them ever so slightly as they almost wavered like flower petals, now they seem to almost stiffen and become much more jagged looking. You are clever. That is
Forgive us,
reasonable.
but forgive us. We merely repeat what Pilar told us, which was that we could get 3 such fruits for a favor from the other. If that they were the most generous, but it seems they lied. Surely you are more generous and reasonable than that other whose name I shall not speak.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a presence,
Manipulation
Really?
subterfuge?
yeah, manipulation subterfuge, yeah, with the +1, yeah. Thank you, thank you, Emma, for reminding me, because I do forget little things.
It's my biggest contribution to the group.
Alright, yeah, she kind of brings a hand up, as before she had them kind of tied together, the sleeves and one, a long fingered hand, easily almost a foot on each, as she brings it up over her mouth. You are clever. I respect this. 2 amaranthine. You will not get a better deal, even with Angelica. And this is most generous. I will ask of no glamour from you. I will only ask that next time you come in search of goblin fruit, you come here.
Rumi looks over towards Rhea and nods, like approving of the offer.
Well, all right then. I guess we're in business. What kind of favor would you?
No, I think what she was offering
Yeah,
was
she was
that we come here in the future. Like, she's our go-to
Oh.
preferred supplier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And, yeah, she kind of seems to be waiting for any of you to agree.
Angelica, who?
You will be our source in the future for giving us such a good deal now. We will know that you are the truly trustworthy and generous, but also shrewd.
You agree to come to me then next time when you need goblin fruit and buy.
We agree to always come to you first.
As long as you agree to make a purchase as well next time you come.
If the price is reasonable, we will always
Yes, of
make the
course.
purchase here first.
Very well. And as you finish speaking, you feel the weird bind you, and she has most definitely sealed your words, your promise, essentially.
And just to again reiterate, Rumi said if the offer is reasonable,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
we will make the purchase here. We will make a purchase here first.
Yeah, essentially,
There-
the only thing that would break the ceiling, right, is if you needed goblin fruit next time you came to the market and you went to anybody other than her first to get goblin fruit.
Or if she demanded a price that was completely
Or if
unreasonable.
if she demands something completely unreasonable or that you would not possibly be able to pay or something like that, that wouldn't necessarily break it, right?
Yeah, Rumi,
But if
Rumi.
you came, for example, though, and could easily afford it and it was perfectly reasonable, and you refused still, that would break the ceiling.
Yeah.
And you can feel the weight of this. She has definitely put a lot into it. She has definitely spent a willpower, essentially, to make it a quite serious seal compared to normal.
Rumi will allow that to stand, but either of the others can veto that.
Rhea's not gonna veto it. She'll let it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you feel the binding take you, and she gives you a single finger in the air as if to say, wait a moment, before she puts it back into her sleeve and walks in and then steps out with two rather gorgeous looking fruits. They are essentially look like small eggplants, very soft red, quite beautiful really though. Smells very deeply of cinnamon and hope.
Rumi walks forward and takes them and nods to her, and says, "Thank you, Nika. May this relationship bring us both great wealth and great benefits in the future."
Yes. Now, if you have nothing else, go.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes, you are a good customer.
Sweet. Alright, where do we go next? Let's think of Gluck, right? Yeah? She's gonna look to the other two.
Yeah. Sounds good.
You see and hear the door clatter behind you as Unica heads back inside.
Okay, just everybody think of Gluck. And she's going to start walking
You mean
back
Glusk?
towards the market. Glusk, yeah. Thanks. Glusk, shadowy light figure, super tall.
Cool. Side note, it's very good that Sam caught you there because I would have done something with that. Most definitely would have done something with that. Cool.
That would have been fun.
You guys go ahead and what I want to do, right, is choose who's going to be the focus of this, right? And the other two will support. And so essentially whoever's supporting, in this case, it's going to be another wit's composure to keep your line of thought straight, essentially, on the shadowy light figure Glusk, essentially. So who wants to lead?
I guess, in terms of In character, Ria's the one with the least amount of stuff clouding her mind.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. All right, then, yeah, Rumi and Sam, if you want to give me a real quick, roll.
+1 die.
Resolve.
Yep, resolve composure. And yeah, the +1. Alrighty.
Oh,
So yep,
we use +1.
from her spinning wheel. Yep.
Okay, okay. Resolve.
Mhm. Alrighty. And I'm gonna say with their aid, you definitely get an extra success. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna say an extra couple. So that'll make it a exceptional success, essentially. Um, as you all feel a bit better off as you guys get going. It does not take long before suddenly you realize that, again, your surroundings have changed very heavily. It is a rather beautiful area. Again, as you turn past a rather large tree, the area in front of you is gorgeous, really. A series of trees that seem to be very brightly colored. Little drips and drops of bright blue light dropping here and there. Other spots, greenish or reddish even, in some rarer positions. And each time they hit the ground, the little splatter sends up strange smells that seem to fill your nostrils with different sensations, even. At first it smells of, again, you're reminded of the amaranthine that she sold you, cinnamon and hope. Other cases, you get a faint wisp of dread, and a sour sensation fills your mouth. And then another, joy. But then, finally, as you continue walking, you come upon a set of steps leading up into a room here. Uh, there do seem to be steps that go higher up, but you hear loud footfall lowering down, headed your way. You notice each of these strange, glimmering pools of light all reflect something different. In one, you catch a very faint glimpse of what looks like Unika's hut. In another, you see Pila performing. And as your thoughts shift, you see various other odd figures, all presumably here, within the market. Finally, as you are presumably taken aback a bit by the rather odd sights and the smells in some cases, you see a huge figure take a step down the stairs. He is easily 15 feet tall, and the sensation that he puts off is by no means comforting. It is imposing, to say the least, as Glusk steps down onto a large flat section of this room, very finely carved stone that kind of overlooks all of this. As you all kind of take the steps up onto this area of the room, he looks upon you all, seemingly hovering, more so now, just above the ground. This vast spray of light from behind him that seems to softly glow here and there before brightening up into almost a flash on occasion. Meanwhile, his more solid-looking form seems to be leaking smoky shadows that fade off away from him. Phew. What brings you here?
Myga told us that you could help us out with a lot of different things that are on our mind.
Ooh, is this Myga?
Oh.
Sam looks at Rumi and looks at Rhea, and they step forward past Rhea a little bit. In names of memories lost and deals forgotten, the moon shall thrice shadow the sun and reveal your bindings.
As you speak, with each word, he seems to grow more angry, distressed, confused almost. And whatever it is not good. As you all feel this horrid sensation fill the room. The pressure is deafening and imposing more than anything you've felt since your keepers. You dare speak those words? Why do you come here?
Myga. Surely you know his name. He was the one who told us to say those words.
I know all here. There is no Myga.
Rumi kind of steps forward between this being and the others and says, if you know all here, then you know what binds us together, and you could answer such a question, can you not?
You dare speak aggressively with me. You know not what you challenge.
Then share and enlighten us. Tell us what we do not know, and we will be humbled by your power and knowledge.
You feel the pressure that fills the room, the sheer weird that bears down on you grow heavier. Go ahead and give me a presence persuasion roll here.
+1 die.
Mm-hmm.
Rumi is giving this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shit.
Might be a good time for willpower.
How many dice do I get for each point of willpower? Just one?
Three.
Three for each point of willpower?
Yep, and you can spend one at a time. And you do have the one bonus from her, from Sam.
Fat load of good that did.
You come here. You speak terrible words. You anger me in my domain. And then you speak of being taught by me. You have no weight here.
Sam steps forward next to Rumi. Hearing Rhea begin to speak, they just hold their hand up. I beg your forgiveness, Master. It seems we were perhaps misled. We simply are looking for a way back home.
You see the figure looking down at you, towering from above, the light painfully bright from behind it, with the shadows seeming to writhe on his much more physical form. As slowly the pressure in the room begins to dull. It is still there, but it is much less aggressive now. You know your place. He turns again to the other two of you, and you feel the weight in the room begin to lessen slightly more. You shall agree to a deal. You forget those words, and I shall do as the words beckon.
The words are forgotten, Master.
I accept the offer.
The towering figure turns, gazing down at you, Rumi.
Rumi steps, looks down for a second and starts muttering to himself. And the other two hearing this just hear kind of a string of gibberish, of, words and phrases that make no sense in this context. But the character calls upon the timelessness of Arcadia and recites a random list of events, objects, names, and places. As he goes through them, tongue twisting and turning around the words faster than anyone should, he stumbles upon a word that ties into either his target's past or present. His eyes go white, and he has now seen what once was or what might be. This contract's instant action takes at least 1 minute to complete. The player must states whether his character wants to see it. So I'm looking for the past. I see a vision of the most important event relevant to my current circumstances, interest, that has befallen the target. In this case, my target is actually Mygas. It is not contingent on my memories. I'm not remembering my own things or even Mygas's things. I might see a forgotten or suppressed event. I may view the last promise or deal he made. But basically, Rumi is trying to understand what Mygas has done.
Sorry, what was the name of that one again? Let me just pop it open in the book.
Portents and Visions. And I'm sorry, actually, I should get 2 more dice on that one because divination.
Yeah, definitely. I will totally allow that. And so
still only the one success, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let me just look at it here. And so you're looking for Myga in particular, yes?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand why he's, seems to have fucked us.
Caused him to send you here. Yeah, oddly enough, you get a sensation of dread as you look into the past. This feeling is foul. It is not quite the same as what you're feeling now with Glusk, but it is off-putting, wrong. Regardless, you press forward through the vision, and although you can't make out Myga's figure, you see almost a window, it seems like, similar to these that surround you, these pools of water that seem to fill points in the air and look somewhere. You see something. You can't understand it, let alone comprehend what it is. But it watches through this portal. And you see 2 figures speaking with Glusk. You see Glusk offer them a deal. Offer to help them remember an oath, a pact made long in the past that, for one reason or another, they need the exact wording of. Because if they do not have it, then they could accidentally break that oath. They are quite concerned, and Glusk is willing to deal with them. And for a small bit of glamour, they pay Glusk, and you watch as the tendrils of light that emit from him seem to wrap around their minds, their very heads, and beyond, and their memories are returned of this oath as the two visitors go happily along their way. And Glusk returns to watching through the many portals of his own this figure. You cannot see them, you cannot understand them or make them out, but you sense the grin. You can feel the gloating assuredness of it. And it is wrong within your mind, but you cannot place it. And as quickly as you went in, you come out, back into the present, back to where things are now. Glusk standing over you, the pressure in the room lessened, but ever so slightly there still, waiting for your reply.
What was the exact wording of the pledge we had to make to enter this market?
Yes, I would say you would that one I'll just give you guys. You'd remember that one.
Yeah, sorry, because that's only been like a few hours ago.
Yeah, it would have been realistically not very long ago. Let me pop it open. Yep. Basically, there's so much of it. Never enact physical violence, hostile or manipulative contracts, or theft of any kind within the Brivon Goblin Market. You'll pay the price for what you purchase and take honestly and to the best of your ability, so long as doing so does not break this oath. You shall not refuse a product you have paid for willingly and knowingly. You will uphold any consensual business-related pledge within for its set duration. And essentially, you would realize as you really, really take this in and try and think about it, Glusk does seem to be growing impatient, however. You do get the sense that he can't necessarily hurt you, but then again, there is no doubt within your minds, now that you have felt this power, that he is definitely a true Fae. And oaths can bend for them. Although they will still break at some point. For true Fae, they can do much and get away with a lot. In this situation, you would be sure that he would probably have consequences, but whether he might be able to survive and get away with it somehow, in some way, it's certainly possible. It would be damaging, though, if he were to.
Rumi looks up at Glusk and says, "We are so far beneath you, and we are all bound by promises we have made to this place. You could break those promises, but we are not worth it, and you know this. You are powerful, you are mighty, and we are but insects in front of you. And so we will leave. Let us go. And let this celestial Fae continue on and forget us," Rumi says, kind of like motioning for the other two to step back. And stepping back himself, as they do.
Both of you, in the meanwhile, as he's saying this, you can feel the tendrils of word from him wrapping around you, from Glusk, as he seals the promise you both made to him with willpower. This is a very powerful seal. You can fight back by spending a glamour and a willpower to not have to follow through with it. But he has sealed this.
Sam doesn't fight back.
Rhea doesn't fight either.
Okay, so what
She
do
looks
you
at
all do?
Rumi confused though.
Glusk looks quite disappointed. You should accept this deal. It only benefits you.
Others have tried to trick me and trap me in it. How would you feel had others tried to trick and trap you into something that they insisted was only for your benefit, O mighty true Fae? You would see through it in an instant, and my mind is clouded, but in trying to be a mere echo of you, even I know not to accept deals that others try to force upon you.
You have no true choice in this. You will accept, or you will fall.
Arcadia is most vengeful of those who break their deals, especially true Fae. You have sworn to this place no violent actions. Am I truly worth breaking that and bringing the wrath of Arcadia upon you? Merely because I misspoke.
Misunderstand. I know more. But if you leave, you break their oath. Your oath.
What oath do I break? Tell me and I will keep it, but I do not know of what oath you speak.
You feel pride, joy, and a sense of accomplishment flood the room almost, as Glusk turns. Leave or stay. Your choice.
Does Rumi get the sense this is about an oath that he's already made that he doesn't remember?
I'd say it's fair enough for you to assume that he means if you were to leave, it may break your oath with Sam and Rhea.
Oh, because they... Oh, okay, that's what I didn't understand.
Yeah, you would be leaving them behind in a situation of potential danger.
So Rumi kind of is slowly backing away and stops at the base of the steps and looks to Sam and Rhea and then says, very well. You have my word as well.
You feel, again, the weird wrap around you and bind with a ceiling, ensuring that you will hopefully keep your end of the bargain. But then you see now the rather bright light, now that he's turned away from you, that floods the back of his form. The tendrils of it reach out and wrap around each of your heads. The memory of those words begins to quickly fade from your minds, as you can quite assuredly no longer remember them. At the same time, different words fill your mind. You now remember your Motley oath. It's rather a simple one. I will pop it up here. By my name I am bound. Should enemies find you, I will grant you aid. Should danger find us, I shall stand by you and never flee in selfish fear. Should you have need of aid, I shall be there. And should you be burdened, I shall aid as I can. We are bound as brothers and sisters of this oath, and together we shall triumph over the deceivers. And that is what you can now remember of your oath, your Motley oath. You also now remember and can understand the inner workings of Uweird. whatever happened, this oath is powerful. More powerful than is common for a simple Motley oath. From this point on, at any point, you guys can collectively meditate to distribute glamour amongst yourselves, from one to the other, etc., etc., however you prefer. Although it is essentially a straight, even cut, you could actually lose out depending on numbers. And it reaffirms what you had kind of already grasped, that you can always essentially find one another. Those are the benefits of your oath. And you do realize that from what he said, it isn't necessarily true that you would have broken, although it is possible it would have been a stretch if you had left. You have done well. Now, he reaches an arm out without turning around towards one of the small portals. Go there. Find your way home.
Rhea looks at the portal that he points to. Is that easy?
You see the figure, no longer that slight float above the ground, step quite heavily up the massive stairs, carved of stone and slightly overgrown in spots. As you see the portal he pointed to, it features a rather sunny and bright bazaar. A very beautiful place, it seems, full of many goods and wares, being sold by very odd-shaped folk of all kinds. But one person seems to stick out in particular, as the image seems to focus upon them. A woman, dark ashen skin and hair, with a snake coiled around her, ever so slightly up around her shoulders and neck. A small one, but nonetheless, she seems to be watching quite closely at something. But then the image begins to fade back into a murky pool that shifts here and there of all kinds of different images, as you've all taken in the image, and it seems very clear within your minds now. What do you all do?
Do we owe anything to you, Glusk?
You hear the figure that is now nearly turned the edge of what seems like as much a tree as a wall inside this place. No. As you see him go out of view.
Rhea looks to Sam and Rumi. Alright, guys. I guess, I guess we have our heading.
Yeah. So wait, were we supposed to go to the desert bazaar the whole time?
I guess so. It seems like I don't even know what to think of Myga anymore. I thought he was a cool goat, but
I'm not sure that
what
we
if he doesn't
can...
even exist?
He betrayed us.
Yeah. I'm not sure that we can really trust anyone here that's just trying to help and doesn't want anything in return.
Everything seems a little shifty. Yeah, I would say we just don't. Even the friendliest person, I don't really wanna. I want to go through this kind of thing again. We're making so many deals and like promises and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. I want to get out of here. And as Rhea starts, they go through the portal, right? Like that.
No, actually, it has shifted now, and it isn't actually a portal in the sense of you can walk through it. It's just in a portal is in it as if a viewing surface, essentially. It
Can
seems like liquid water, essentially.
Are any of the other can she look through and see other things in the other
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. The image that you did see, though, is oddly enough very fixed within your mind. Just trying to think of it, it pops right into your head. Of that woman in particular.
Okay, she'll be thinking about that woman as she walks down the stairs.
You all head out, I presume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As they
You
go,
all...
and as they're walking down the stairs, Sam will just kind of whisper under her breath, "You shouldn't try to argue with someone like that."
You shouldn't take a deal when it is forced upon you.
We didn't have a choice.
I guess what other choice do we have though? Like, do we just walk away?
He was bound to enter this place, he was bound by the same oath we took. And the punishments that Arcadia metes out to Fae are even more severe than those that it metes out to us.
Well, sorry, we haven't been here as long. We don't know all these in and outs that you do, apparently. Let's just go.
I just figured we'd get a little more than what we got.
Let us leave this place.
Yeah, let's find that lady with the snake.
As you head down, you did enter a door to get in, but you find as you open it, everything shifts abruptly. Outside, you see bright, shining sun above you. The trees that filled the area are no longer there, and everything is, well, quite warm. Let me move you real quick. There we are. There. You find yourselves in the Sunny Bazaar, a separate section of the Goblin Market of Brivon. Here you see, in the arid atmosphere, many people wandering around trading goods as was before, but in particular you see a large stand, a very separated off area that people seem to be crowded around, as you see figures similar to yourselves, some most definitely changelings, others perhaps hobgoblins, and more most definitely human, as numbers are shouted and others are tossed in turn. Whoever the auctioneer is shouts out again with the updated numbers, and it is most clearly an auction. With that, we fade to black, and that's where we will end for tonight.
Hey.
Ew.